You know, since Rachel joined us and is in Washington D.C. as director of Students for Sensible Drug Policy, please let us know any current information that we must be aware of, projects you guys are working on, focus right now.
Oh yeah. So we're just finishing up our multi-year plan. So we're actually going to be planning ahead for the next few years, and we'll be releasing that soon. And in the spring, we'll be gearing up for our annual conference. We held it virtually last year. We actually successfully transitioned from an in-person to a virtual because the conference went on around the time things shut down. So we'll be working on our virtual conference in the spring, which will be really awesome, and it's open to anybody who's interested in attending. It's like 3 days of really awesome educational content, panels, workshops with folks from all over the globe. Yeah, so that's what we're working on next. Also, looking more into supporting drug decriminalization initiatives across the United States, cannabis legalization nationally in the UK, Ireland, as well as in West Africa. And yeah, that's like, you know, some of the work that we have in store. So we are at our end of the year. Our generous esteemed trustees are matching up to $55,000 in donations made to SSDP. So any gift made before December 31st will be doubled. And if you make a gift of over $25, you'll be entered to win a dip device every starter pack. So if you'd like to get in every starter pack, make a gift of $25, and thank you to Dip Devices for doing that for us. So yeah.
Rachel, this has been really the year of absentee education. We've seen things like University of Michigan essentially become University of Phoenix. For a group of advocates like yourself who's basically dependent upon collegiate students, that's your focus, that must have offered incredible challenges to you. How did you handle it in 2020, and how are you planning on handling it in 2021?
Yeah, so our students are very resourceful and have, reinvented organizing, like doing all kinds of digital organizing and outreach that way, holding virtual chapter meetings. That's been really awesome to see our chapter members step up and still get the work done without having to, be doing, face-to-face organizing. Yeah, we're really impressed. And also we're a global organization as well. So, outside of the United States, like in Europe, where the pandemic has been managed differently, that there weren't as many obstacles for our students in Europe to get together and organize in person. So it was largely a challenge for our students in the U.S.
So Rachel, I just want to ask you, what's going to happen with online education now that students have been practically a whole year, with online everything, and I don't know, hopefully they realize they actually don't have to come to class anymore. They can just party and, watch lectures online. It's like, I mean, is there any hope really for universities, or, what's going to happen?
Well, I definitely think that the university will certainly be changing. I can see a lot more, online education work happening, which is like actually really convenient for students who are doing alternative path towards their degree. People who are already professionals, people who didn't go to college when they were young. I think it's like actually online education is like much more equitable. I actually think that moving things online is actually really great. Certainly college students at this time are not getting that, community bonding experience, like going away from home for the first time, being with people your age, being in academic institution and, being exposed to all that knowledge and having it be like, a communal experience. Like, I think that certainly there's a lot to be missed. But I think that online education is more equitable. So I am excited to see that being more happening more often. Yeah, so I actually I'm kind of excited about that. I want things to go back to normal. Obviously, I very much miss and I could, I loved the experience of being in a class in college with people my age, doing extracurricular activities, being at my SSDP chapter meetings when I was a student at SUNY New Paltz, and being the chapter leader there at SSDP. And, that was a really phenomenal experience, and certainly I miss that, but I do think there are some positives towards online education. I don't think it's the decline of the university or anything like that.
I'll say that in high school level, there's been a focus on non-traditional educational options, virtual high school, things like that. The programs have been expanded in Flint. My son attended one in Warren as well. So we're seeing nowadays a move towards educational options that, I mean, really, the pathway was unshakable for many, many, many years, and the traditions of teaching involved in-person classrooms with teacher in front and students spread around. Now things we're looking at a different, almost a revolution sort of in the way that we view education in the United States of America. Perhaps overdue, or also maybe perhaps overreach. Who's to say?
Yeah.
I think this may make possible one of these burning streams of free university education for everybody. So because we've already accepted it. I don't know if we've shown that it's educational. We've accepted it as being educational for one whole year for the whole country. And I don't think it's going to be possible to say, we can't do this and we can't offer online degrees. And I think ultimately it's going to lead to lowering college costs, which is a good thing. I mean, because college is inaccessible to a lot of people now. I mean, it's just crazy. So yeah, I would add that to the good things that have happened this year. So this is one of the highlights, is this move to online education. So yeah, that's very important. So Bernie's dream has come true.
Well, we were all forced to use this technology. It's been around for a long time. Been using it a lot more for this type of thing and education and many other things and meetings, and it's here to stay. We've talked about that a few times.
Yeah, as you said, we've accepted it now. The biggest
Yeah.
obstacles are preventing a monopolization or an oligopolization from big tech on these services and platforms, and that's a big hurdle to overcome. I think moving forward, just knowing how big and how much of a stranglehold certain social media platforms have on specific methods of communication.
And the content that we see is determined algorithmically, and we're in an echo chamber all the time, exposed to our own biases because of the algorithm. So yeah, I think that is an important consideration.
Our choices reinforce what we're seeing. So instead of showing us new things by people that maybe we haven't been exposed to before, it just shows us the same old people, just every single damn thing they've got.
Yeah, so it lends itself to more indoctrination, to more brainwashing, definitely. I mean, there has to be, some watchdog out there to figure out, what we're going to do about the brainwashing aspects of education, because if everything becomes online, like Nick was saying, this can become monopolized, and it could be monopolized by big money, and then it becomes a brainwashing operation, right? So, which is what's always, it's what's always been happening, and
I don't want my math classes presented by Oreos and this.
Well, we've seen in 2020 a number of alternate social media platforms have tried to take hold, whether that's conservative social media platforms or those dedicated specifically towards things. I saw one that is supposed to be the LinkedIn for graphic design and artistic creative types, which I thought was fascinating. But I also thought was fascinating on a different level, that on a LinkedIn style platform, a business predicated platform, we're trying to hook creatives up to job source. Fantastic concepts. I hope some of them survive 2021, but it's difficult in this day and age to fight against the Facebooks and the LinkedIns of the world. Facebook plus Instagram equals oligopoly, monopoly.
Well, and for us, it's hard to fight the urge to go on and engage, partially because, with so many organizers I see on this call and activists, I mean, Facebook was the platform and tool for organization and for espousing ideals for a good number of years, and it played a serious role in us passing legalization in 2018.
Yeah.
But yes, I do think people are moving away from that a little bit, and so I'm wondering what the next tool used for organization is going to be. Instagram actually kind of took that role with the all of the Black Lives Matters protests, because people could share infographics and videos so quickly and widely. So
Yeah.
Go ahead, Rachel, please.
Oh yeah. I think there's going to have to be an exit from Facebook eventually, because their policies on content, what content can be shared, has gotten a lot stricter, and they're censoring much more. We've been at SSDP, we've been having some trouble trying to get around the algorithms and have our content appear in front of the viewers of our members and our supporters, particularly because it is drug policy work, right? So for example, a couple months ago we were partnering with another organization to do a documentary viewing on I'm forgetting the name of the documentary right now, but it was about the history of the movement to end the war on drugs, and Facebook would not let us share the post about the documentary. It was censored for being political, and this was just a documentary about the history of the movement. It wasn't anything too spicy or controversial, but we did face that censorship, and they're getting more and more strict all the time and changing their policies. And so I think eventually activists are going to have to exit Facebook. It's not going to be a model for organizing anymore.
Well, remember that we saw Mass Roots emerge last year, and that Mass Roots was an alternative to Facebook specifically for the cannabis industry. It failed. Pardon me. It failed, but that doesn't necessarily mean there wasn't interest in that platform. It could have been bad management, too big, too soon. There's lots of reasons why something that's a good idea doesn't necessarily come all the way to fruition. And it's possible that with this many people stepping up to the plate, somebody's going to hit a home run. And when they do, it's going to be important for the advocates that are really representing the people to be one of the first ones on that platform, because it's super easy for the big guys to just buy presence on any social media situation. They flip a checkbook open, and then all of a sudden they dominate the ad cycle. They have the best graphics, they've secured the best names, and everybody plays catch up for the rest of their lives. It's terrible.
Have you guys been on Clubhouse at all? Anybody?
I don't have an iPhone. Clubhouse is exclusive to that. So
That's the problem I have as well, but I've jumped in as other people were getting on, and there've been some really good conversations on there, and kind of see that being a growing platform for cannabis and activism and other similar topics. I need to figure out a way to get it on my Android or on my non-iPhone.
It'll be developed, I'm sure, before too long, especially if it's being recognized as you're seeing it as something that might be useful. I know there was one recently going around. I forgot what it was called, actually, maybe Cannabis or something like that.
yeah,
Cannabis.
So I don't know. It didn't really seem to have that kind of response as you had, Mike. So one of these will probably win out.
I just wanted to say goodbye. I'm gonna have to hop off here. Rachel and I are gonna have to get off.
Yeah.
But it's great seeing Rick and Jamie and Dr. Rosanna, Colin, everybody.
Jim.
Yeah.
Jim, Basor briefly, Deborah.
our cartoonized versions of ourselves also on Deborah's empty screen, right?
Happy New Year.
Yeah.
Those packages.
2021.
For having me. I'm really pleased to be a guest. Yeah.
Thank you, Rachel. We appreciate
Thank
all
you
your
very
work
much.
in
Appreciate
DC.
you.
Thanks, Nick. Safe
Your
travels
work
coming
and
home.
information. See you guys. Thanks for coming on.
Remember to check out ssdp.org to find out their multi-year plan coming up, and ssdp.org/donate, I think,
Yes,
if you're
SSDP.
interested in how you can help the org.
Yes. Thank you.
That-
Yeah. sscu.org/donate. Yep.
Good
Matching
organization.
funds till the 31st, right? Matching
Yes.
funds.
Matching funds till the 31st. Yes. Yeah. Thank
Great.
you. All
Send
right.
on, guys.
Bye.
Thank you.